Hi, it's Michelle Last and we are making cards for May's technique class. We're using the Apothecary Art Stamp and they're using this stamp out of the set, and this is the card we're going to be making. So quite a nice but flat and plain front, and then on the inside I've just added some pattern paper detail and a little tiny stamped and cut out flower. So I'm going to show you how we made the card. Inside your card pack you've got everything you need to make the card. So slide out the contents. You will find the pieces used for the inside of the card will be in the card, and the pieces for the outside of the card will be on the top of the card. And what you need to do is you can quite simply assemble the inner piece of the card like this. So create a nice even border around the three edges there. And then however you wish, I'm just going to look at my one, however you wish you're going to line up the patterns paper to show as much or as little of the patterns as you wish. So layer those on top of one another like so, and layer them under each other like that, and then that will stick on the inside of your card. Okay, so that will be the inside part of your card apart from the flower. And what you're going to do is for the front of your card you've got the patterned paper here, and exactly the same. I've already die cut this for you with the edgelet die, and I don't know if you can see, but it's still got the little pieces in some of the holes. I sometimes just get busy and flicking them hard, or you just need to find something to just poke out the little pieces. They poke out really simply. So poke out all the little dots, and so they're not in. You've got a nice little edge like this, and that is going to stick up to the edge like that. So you just line up the paper with the cardstock, so you've just got it protruding like that, and then you've got your extra bit of cardstock that you're going to stick, but just make sure that you're not making it too wide for the front of the card, so be mindful of a nice even gap all the way around. Now on my one I did ink the edges with soft suede ink and a sponge, just to make them pop off the back of the white card base actually. So I did that on this piece and also this piece, but that's up to you. Then you've got a piece of card in your kit, and what I'd like you to do is stamp it and colour it and cut around it. Now that's what it'll look like, and then I've pre-cut mine for you, and I've coloured it in exactly the same way as the yellow card. So basically you have three tones of the same colour. So I have Pool Party, Calypso Coral and Bermuda Bay. Just check that I've got those. Yeah, sorry, no, not Calypso Coral, because that's coral. Pool Party, Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay. Start with the lightest colour, and you're colouring the outside of the petals with the lightest colour. Then you go to the centre with the mid-tone colour, and then in the very centre the darkest colour, and you will end up with it's just direct pen to cardstock. I've not used blender pens or aqua painters. If you want to use blender pens or aqua painters and get a more subtle effect, you really do need to use stays on ink for the stamp. As it is, I just use early espresso because there's no moisture in the pens that's going to make the ink drag. Then what I've done is I've used two greens. My typical greens are pear, pizzazz and old olive, but I've just mixed it up a little bit and used pistachio pudding and wild wasabi, and I've just coloured the leaves in, and I've just gone with the thin tip and just gone over the fronds from the stamp and coloured that all in. Then what you need to do, you'll have a little strip of cardstock. I've stamped Happy Birthday in soft suede on that strip of cardstock. Try to make it roughly in the centre of the long bit of card. Then what's going to happen is that would sit here like that, and I'm just going to make it be in the right place, and then I'm going to bend it over the back and bend that one over the back, which is going to show me where I need to score. Okay, so when I take it to my trimmer, wherever I've got a little score line here, I'm now just going to score again at about half a centimetre. Oops, sorry. So I'm going to do a half a centimetre either side of the first score line that I've got, which is going to help me create that little effect like that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same on this side. Actually, it's 1/2 inch I've done it, not 1/2 centimetre. It makes no difference, to be honest. It's just as long as it's the same both sides. So you're going to have that little like banner shape, okay, like that. Then what should happen is you've stick some dimensionals on the back. This is a perfect way to use up your edge pieces of your dimensionals, which I've been amazing at doing because I haven't got any edge pieces left. Let's have a look. No, I've got no edge pieces left. So you can always cut your dimensionals in half. So if I cut my dimensionals in half, like that, I'm just going to stick those on the back, like that, peel them off. I did, on my finished card, I did actually ink the edges of this very lightly. It just looked too clean and it didn't really pop off the front of the card, so just adding a tiny bit of soft suede ink along the edge just made it pop off a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, using my score lines as a guide, it's a bit tricky to do it while I'm letting you watch. I'm trying not to, but it's worked out fine. So that's going to go like that, and that's going to go around the back of the label framelit. Then you just want to cut off the same depth either side, cut down the middle, and come from the edge to the middle cut so that you've got a nice central flag like that. Do the same this side. There we go, like that. And what I would probably do is add a little glue dot on the back here, so it holds it down like that. You might need another one. Gosh, sorry, lots of visitors, lots of people putting things through the door. So if you want to, you can also put another glue dot on the back of these bits here when you stick it down. So then what you're going to do is you're just going to stick it in place on the front of the card like that. So I've made one of mine slightly longer than the other. I haven't on the card that I've designed for you. I don't think it needed it. And then all you needed to do was add pearls to the centre of your flowers, and that's ready to stick on the front. And just a little tip, with your leftover piece of cardstock, all you need to do is find a flower. So this flower, for example, here would be perfect. So you're going to stamp that flower in the corner like that. Just trying to see if I can grab my ink pad easily. Here we go. So I've just got the early espresso. Just going to ink up that piece. Going to colour in and cut around that individual flower. Okay. So you're going to colour this big flower in, cut around it, and that is what I used with a pearl on the inside of my card. And that's your card finished. Sorry, that's your card complete. I hope you love it. It's one of my favourite cards, so I was really happy with how it came out. Thank you. Thanks for joining me.